I'll try something new here with the stream. Um, we'll start with the quarterback position. Um, Carr obviously is going to be your starter. I mean, I wish he was better, but he's reasonable. I use Kaiser as the backup simply because he can run. Just bear with me. I'll catch your messages in a sec. Um, just because he has the ability to run, in case I need to run like a fake or whatever. All right, so nothing really spectacular here. It's just a basic 1-2 punch. Okay, running backs. Obviously, these two are basically gonna be your important. You're gonna have your power back, obviously, and then you're gonna have your change of pace back. Okay, so I go with Jacobs and Washington. Number 3 and number 4 is not really gonna matter unless you're playing like franchise mode or any game mode where stamina is a huge issue. At that point, then maybe 3 and 4 would probably be important. But for the most part, if you're playing regs, only number 1 and number 2 is gonna matter. Okay. Fullback, I like to use Rod Smith simply because he's a little bit faster. Speed still has a kindred spirit on the game, so you need to be able to have a fast lead blocker. Ingold is still good, don't get me wrong, but when you're trying to run stretch runs and stuff like that and get the ball to the outside, having a faster lead blocker is definitely more worthwhile. However, I do manually sub Ingold in case I want to run inside or whatever if I need to. Also with this package, if I go into like a jumbo set, it would put Rod Smith at halfback and Ingold at fullback. Okay, so it carries its usefulness. The wide receiver. I've been tinkering with this one a lot through the year. And the first things first is number 5 is important. Okay, number 5, this guy is going to be on special teams coverage. Okay, you need a guy that can get down the field fast. You need a guy that can tackle. Okay, so Gafford used to play cornerback last year. When he came into the league, he was a cornerback. So he's probably gonna have your best tackling stats. Let me find it just so I can show y'all. Oh damn! Did it take the tackle stats off? Or am I just going too fast to it? Yeah, there he goes. He's gonna have the best tackle stat for the position. Now, if you want, you could probably put one of these other guys in there, like Zay or whatever, but it really doesn't matter. But I like him because of his speed, and it's going to definitely take those opportunists, people that like to return kickoff coverages back. So having speed on there is very, 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 very important. Number 6 is not going to matter. Like I said, that's basically going to be for franchise mode or any mode where you're going to deal with a lot of stamina issues. And like I said, I'm going to probably go ahead and change him because I got another use for him. But mainly, you want your number 1 and number 2 to be good. You want strong receivers in this style of offense. If you're a power run game first, strength is going to be your priority stat because strength is going to play a big importance in not just blocking, but a lot of catching traffic as well. Number 3, I go Doss. Number 4, I go Renfro. And I'm about to explain these two here in a sec because I use Renfro as a slot receiver. Okay. Tight ends. I know there's certain formations that use 3 tight end sets, but I'm going to explain why I have a fullback in as number 3. Most of those 3 tight end sets, your third tight end, he's going to be in a position of where, you're going to want someone that can block. And Derek Carrier sucks when it comes to run blocking. He's going to get block shedded on and you're going to get real pissed. So I had to take him out Now, keep in mind, I do use him occasionally in certain formations, but when you're trying to run the wall, you need someone that can block. So I put Ingold in right there, and we just run with Waller, Moreau, and Ingold. And like I said, you could always just flip your packages around, and sometimes you can make Waller your number 3 if you just want to pass to that number 3 tight end spot. But that's how it's set for my final roster update. Okay. Now, as far as the linemen go, your backups aren't really going to matter other than just, especially the left side. The right side you might use because of packages, but the left side backups aren't really going to matter. But you just need to make sure you have Colton, Incognito, Hudson, and then on the right guard you need Jackson and Good, and then you need Trent Brown and Brandon Parker. Okay, those are important. All right, nothing too fancy outside of that. That's pretty much how I have it set, and it works for me. Now we're going to go into the defensive side. This is where I've spent probably the most time trying to readjust things and find out who's the best. Throughout the year they have a lot of different updates. Some players go up, some players go down, and it becomes a pendulum that constantly swings. And I've had the most success using Crosby on the left side, because most of the defenses that I run, are bringing linebackers and stuff on the line. And I feel like if I'm going to bring a linebacker on the line, the guy that's next to him needs to be able to, hold a block a little bit instead of just being an edge rusher. So the left end is usually going to be the free person in my defense. And then the right person needs to be able to kind of set the edge so that, a linebacker or a safety can get behind if I want to, send heat from the second and third level. Backup, I go Dion Jordan. Third string's not really going to matter. Again, like I said, I'm about to get into it right after I show you all this, is the auto sub slider. So your third string's not really going to matter in regs. Okay, so it's just going to be Crosby and Jordan on the outside left end, and on the right end, we'll go with the guys that are a little bit stronger. You go Furl and Key. Okay. Defensive tackle. I get a little, I've probably labbed the shit out of this. Your number 1 and number 2, you want actual defensive tackles. Okay. So I go Hurst and Hall. And in some of the 4-3 defenses that I run, when I go D-line sub, it allows me, if I put defensive ends at the number 3 and number 4 position, it allows me to basically have 4 defensive ends and just have a nickel pass rush package in a base defense. And it's actually pretty good. You'd be amazed by the block sheds that you can get, up the interior with having fast guys like Crosby and Furl at 6'4" and 6'5", and they basically have the size to play defensive tackle as well, which is pretty nice. And we put Hankins at number 5 because Crosby and Furl is our starters. This actually works nice with our sliders, because if we tune our sliders to where these guys kind of get fatigued a little bit, it'll skip over Furl and Crosby, and it'll put your other defensive tackle in. So it's a nice addition to have. All right, so let's go into the linebackers. The left outside linebacker and right outside linebacker is really just dependent on, your style of play. But I find myself needing more speed on the left side and being able to stop the run from the right side. So I go Morrow on left. Switch teams, my bad. I go Whitehead on the right. And then my middle linebacker, I use Compton. Now, I've been, sometimes I'll use Perfect, because he has something that, like let's say they're throwing the ball. Compton doesn't have anything that I like. like when the ball's in the air, he's conservative. So that means like if you're not usering him, sometimes he's just gonna swat the ball down. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It just really depends how you use him. But because of his speed and agility over Perfect, he can play like deeper zones, like curl flats and mid reads, a lot better. Now, if you're just playing like vertical hooks and you know short routes and blitzing, I would suggest using Perfect because if he's running a vertical hook, he's gonna actually go for the interception. Okay, and he actually has better coverage stats. Don't mind the speed. It's only a 5 threshold, so it's not as if it's a big complete difference. But he will make plays on the ball, and he does have a better zone threshold. So if you're just running vertical hooks or whatever, kind of see if I can find him real quick. I probably ran past him. Yeah, see, he has a 66. He has him beat on the thresholds there. But you don't really need him running any deep zones like curl flats or anything like that where he has to go sideline to sideline. Don't do it. Now, if you're just running like vertical hooks and hook curls, then fine. You can use him. But that's pretty much that. Number 3 and number 4, that's just for special teams purposes. So I just go Whitehead and Lee. I would probably take Lee out and put Wilbur in. Simply because Wilbur is going to be a better blocker, and you're only going to use that on like punt returns. Other than that, he's not really going to be used. Same thing with right outside linebacker. What I do with my backups, okay, is I want to get these guys involved on special teams as well. So they're not only going to be on kickoff coverage, but they're also going to be on, kickoff return and stuff. So they're going to be able to block for me, and you want to make sure you got guys that can block, but you also want guys in there that can tackle. Okay, tackle and hit power is very, very important because you get those little turnovers that in key moments of the game when you kick it off to somebody, you turn your aggressive hit on. They're going to fucking hit somebody, and you're going to get the ball back. Okay, and it's a big thing about me is I don't kick the ball out of bounds. I always try to leave it in play because I always take that chance. And, it's also nice, them not getting the ball past the 25 as well. So like I said, I just go Whitehead, Perfect, and Compton. Your number 3s and 4s are not going to actually matter unless you have, you're playing CFM or MUT, and stamina becomes an issue. And like I said, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to give you the best sliders. Okay, so cornerback, I go Worley, Mullins, Abram, Johnson, Riley. I'm going to explain why I have it set like this. Okay, in a base defense, Worley and Mullins, obviously they're going to be in there the whole time. Now this one's where it gets interesting. Okay, and I'm going to show you here in a sec after I do my sliders why I have him at number 3. Him being at the number 3 is basically because he's going to be my starting safety, so it'll bypass him a lot and automatically go to number 4. But the reason why he's number 3 is for kickoff coverage purposes, which allows me to get him on the outside, so I can use her. Anybody try to run to the sideline on kickoff coverage, they're going to have to run into my safety with that 88 hit power. Okay, and I use Johnson on number 4, and that's basically going to get him on a special, because he used to play receiver in college. There's a little special position that I use on my punt return. Sometimes I might want to do a fake punt return and pass it to him, and he's also going to be on the other side. Okay, so that goes over that. Free safety, I go Carl Joseph. And I'm going to explain why I got it set like this. And Joyner, okay? And Harris. He's be just like that. Joseph, Joyner, Harris. Then you go to your strong safety, you go Abram, Joseph, Joyner. Reason why is because you want to get this guy on special teams to block for you, but you also want to get him on your kickoff coverage. So the best way to do that is put him right there. And we didn't have Abrams over here because we got him in the slot corner position. Okay, so that gets all three of our safeties that we want that got good hit power on kickoff coverage and kickoff return. Okay, kicker, no brainer, use your kicker. Punter, no brainer, use your punter. Kick return, if y'all watch my videos a lot, y'all see that I tend to jump over defenders. Okay, if you can angle it right, sometimes you can, manipulate and kind of grudge through 3 or 4 guys at one time. You suck them into like a dive animation where you just jump over them, whatever. And the key stat for that is agility. Okay, 90 is elite tier for that. Okay, you ain't got no one else in 90. You can do that with the receiver, but with the receiver, he's your number one guy. You don't want to get him tired returning kicks. Okay, so we're not going to use him for kickoff returns. And I could probably use a cornerback here to do it, but cornerbacks aren't known for holding on to the ball as well as running backs. So that's why I use Washington. Okay, the second guy is going to be your lead blocker. You need someone that's decent. Sometimes they might try to manipulate the system, and if you got a slow guy back there, then they're just going to keep kicking it to him, and you're not going to really get no yards. So carrier, he's like a dual purpose. He's not going to break a long run or anything if they try to pooch kick it, but he'll get better than, as opposed to you just having someone like a regular fullback or something back there. Okay. Punt return, I use Gafford. Now I'm not, if you're not like very good with the stick skills, I would probably suggest, using someone that's a little bit more fluent with agility. Probably put Washington or someone back there. But him being like having a low awareness, there's a little glitch that you can do. It's like a half spin. I don't know if some of y'all watch me play, y'all kind of see me attempt it a little bit every now and then. It's like a little half spin where you roll the stick while doing the spin move, and he'll do a half spin, and you can basically make defenders run into each other and stuff. And then once the animation kind of dumbs down and then you get control of your guy back again, usually you got some space to run up. So usually you can get good punt returns, and the speed is definitely going to be a factor there. So that's why I'm using him as my punt return. Kickoff start. Usually you can go with whoever here. It's not really going to matter. I just go with the bigger guy, bigger leg. And obviously he's a kicker, so he's probably going to have a lot better animations. I think I used to use Cole, but I think it came down to the kick power. Okay. Long snapper. This is another thing y'all need to pay attention to. Okay. This is where you also need to utilize your manual subs. If you're doing field goal kicks, okay, make sure this is your guy. You use Rodney Hudson. Use your best center. Use your best guy. Now, if you're kicking punts, if you're punting the ball, okay, you need to manually sub him out and put a tight end or someone that can get down the field fast. Okay, just something that y'all should take notations of. So, all right, your third down running back. This is going to be your shotgun running back. I've experimented with probably every possible one, and I think Richard's probably going to be the best one. Okay, reason why is he's got something that helps you big time, especially when you want to throw the ball deep. He has the one thing that matters the most, and that is impact block. Okay, he's got the best impact block, plus he can catch the ball. Okay, so that makes him like a dual threat. He can sit in the back, help you block, and then he can also kind of kick out, receive the ball, get some yards, easy yards. Okay, so that's my setup for my third down running back. Power running back, I go with Isaiah Crowell, simply because he's got a good juke. In case I need to get, kick the ball out to the outside. I think he's like an 88 or 90 juke. I'm trying to remember. They might not even have a rating for it right here. Let's see. Just bear with me. I know it was a high juke move. And for everyone that just joined, like I said, you'll be able to go back. I'm just going to play one game so that it'll be short, so y'all can just go back and watch, you know, anything that y'all missed. Yeah, he's got an 88 juke move, okay? Then your slot, you're only going to need to set these two unless you're playing CFM, then you can set a third. You want to use guys that aren't actually in your 1, 2, 3 rotation. I go Renfro and Harris, okay? Small guys that can get the ball out in space, and you know, they basically mirror each other pretty much, okay? All right, rush left end. This is going to be like your nickel packages, your dime. I use Mayowa and Farrell. Your third string's not going to matter unless you're playing CFM and your, you know, fatigue becomes an issue. And then your right end, I go Crosby and Jordan. Okay. Now this is where it gets interesting. Okay, when you go to the rush defensive tackle, your number one will always be there. Okay, regardless if you change your package or whatever, your number one is always going to be there. Okay. Now what you're going to do is if you go like sub D line package, what's going to happen is Crosby's going to come in at your second defensive tackle. All right, starting off, you're just going to have Hurst and Farrell. But Crosby, you know, he's very good too. So we can kind of rotate him around. So that'll give me, if I go defensive line sub, it'll put Jordan and Farrell on the outside. It'll put Crosby on the inside. So you'll have good big guys on the outside, have a little speed, you know, complement on the inside, so you can get a nice inside pass rush. Your sub linebackers, you go Abram, Riley, and Harris. Your slot corner, you go Isaiah Johnson, Nevin Lawson. Your third string's not really going to matter unless you're playing CFM, okay? And that's going to be your depth. Now let's kind of go into, let me go ahead and save this. And guys, make sure y'all come here so y'all do not have to pause during games. Okay, you could save it as your official roster here, and then when you go play head to head, it's already there. You know, sometimes you might need to load it before you play. You know, sometimes it get finicky like that. But as long as you do that, you will not have to go inside of your game and pause the game, and then somebody's gonna, you know, press resume, and then you only got time to make 2 adjustments. So make sure y'all do that, okay? Now let's get into these sliders, because a lot of people, I know earlier I had made videos on it and I've gotten a lot of views on it. So I'm going to kind of go into it, and I've updated it since then. It's these auto sub sliders. I set these really, really high, okay? What's going to happen is, if y'all watch my streams, y'all know my guys do not get tired. It's like I'm sitting there and my guys are always fresh, even in regs. Like I can sit there and spam, no huddle. Like the only people that's really going to get tired is your linemen, for the simple fact that your sliders are only going to be in context of position, not exactly where you have them on your depth chart. So if you have, let's say, a backup right tackle playing left, you know, playing left tackle, your sliders are not gonna, you know, be able to understand that, you know, and it's kind of going to keep your starter on the field a little bit longer. So it might be a little emulate problem, but it's not too big of a problem. All you got to do is, if you know your linemen are getting too tired, just kind of flick your stick a little bit. But your lineman is not really going to matter, you know, unless you're just playing CFM and you actually have probably 2 of each position, you know. So if you need to set them as, you know, 2 right tackles, you know, before you go in there or whatever, do that, okay? Position is very important. Make sure they're in the right position, and then you make sure you set your depth chart for them to be in their position, okay? All right, so quarterback is the sub out and the sub in. Okay, let me explain this for you guys. Think of sub out, like when you're looking at the color of your quarterback on the play call screen. If you go by formation, you'll have like green, light green, then you'll have like a little yellow, dark yellow, then you'll have like a red, like an orange, then you have like a red, and then you have like a dark red, and then you have a black. Like, by God, by all means, do not have black on the field because they're gonna get killed. I don't think I've ever gotten to that point. I think I've probably gotten there one year in like a CFM league or something, and I just didn't have enough depth, and I got to that point. But for the most part, y'all shouldn't get to that point. So usually 80 is the low threshold. Okay, 80 is going to be your yellow. All right, so once they usually hit that yellow bar, they're automatically going to get took out. As long the only way a quarterback's going to get tired and reach that threshold is if you're constantly running with him, scrambling, or if you're constantly running no huddle, running around with your quarterback. That's the only way your quarterback's really going to get tired, and when you're using the Raiders, you're not running around with Carr. Okay. Uh, your running backs, it really depends on your depth, guys. Um, I like to sub mine out a lot. I keep them up high because this is going to basically take your running back out. Usually, for the most part, it'll take them out when it needs to take them out. It'll take them out fairly quick. 2 or 3 or 4 rotations. If you're sitting there no huddling or whatever, then you let off on the no huddle, and then you automatically got your next guy in the set for you. Um, this isn't so much gonna affect like if you come out in your base offense or whatever where you can just go spell halfback. This is gonna be more affluential towards you might be in shotgun or something like that. What's gonna happen is automatically gonna put your next third down running back in the position. Okay, so you basically just want to be mindful for that. And like I said, I keep that very high because you do not want your running backs getting low, right? When your low running backs start changing to yellow and red, and they start huffing and puffing, you like looking at them, you see the animation of them huffing and puffing, like they're the big bad wolf back there, and they just ain't got no more energy. You definitely do not want to give them the ball because what's going to happen is they're going to be slow, and we all know the speed matters in this game. Okay, so you don't want to give the ball to someone slow. Number two, with them being like that, they're more acclimated to fumbling, taking big hits, getting hurt if you're in CFM, stuff like that. So make sure that's very, very high, and that's going to save you in the long run. Okay, you're going to avoid a lot of injuries, you're going to avoid a lot of fumbles and stuff like that. Okay, wide receivers, I go a little bit lower just because of depth purposes. And usually you're gonna have more wide receivers than you are running backs. But I kind of like to keep it up high, just for the simple fact that I do run a lot of 2 wide receiver sets. If you're running a lot of 5 wide receiver sets, if you're more running a spread style offense, you might want to lower it down a little bit. Okay, so that you get the idea. And I kind of find that the 85-100 across the board is usually going to be your best go-to, somewhere within that range. And I believe the same thing on a defense. Like if you look at all my stuff, a lot of things are going to be 85-100. Okay. The defensive ends, because the Raiders have 4 decent defensive ends, I allow them to get subbed out a little bit more frequently. And like I said, it's only going to affect you on people that run no huddle offenses against you. If they don't, then you're in regs, it's not really going to be an issue. Mutt, I don't play a lot of Mutt, but I know fatigue does come in to the equation. So make sure you keep these up high, and then make sure your depth chart is pretty leveled out, pretty even, because you don't want to have it up high and then let's say you got a high overall pass rusher, okay? And then your backup is like a very, very, very low overall, like in his 60s or something. If that's the case, then you want to lower this, okay? And then make his sub in, a little bit lower as well. But you don't want, to balance your rotation sets if your backups aren't, as quality as your starters. So be very mindful of that. But like I said, everything is pretty much going to be within that 85 to 100 range. Anything that you have a lot of depth on, you can kind of go a little bit lower if you need to. And that's pretty much it. That's self-explanatory. And like I said, you won't have issues with people taking advantage of trying to weaken you on any aspect of the game. As long as you know and have these set up a little bit higher than what they are when they give you the game. I think when you get it, it's like 65s and stuff like that. You don't want that. That's a no-no. All right. So went over that. Went over the depth chart. Let's kind of get a game in. Pray that I get a good match. This game's acting real funny. Like you got to constantly keep trying to sign into EA. It's been like that all week. Here we go. And as you can see, I'm in the top 300. Got a decent record. I play a lot of games. I see a lot of bullshit. And I've learned a lot of stuff. And y'all are going to see a lot of stuff. So let's get it. Raider Nation. And like I said, I'll probably catch y'all comments in a little bit. I know the comments off on my side screen. I think watching the full screen would be a little bit more enjoyable to y'all. And I can always just go back and look at the comments if I need to. Other than that, if y'all have any questions, reach out to me. I don't mind responding. As long as I'm not getting flooded with bullshit or whatever. For the most part, I'll come out. I'll respond to you and I might even make a video, to help you out or whatever. Reach out to me.
A few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up.
Chiefs or Ravens. I ain't even seen the 49ers. People got tired of losing to me for that. But Chiefs, Ravens, pretty much the bulk of what I played.
The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
All right. Just kind of wait for him to kick his offense. I've also been coming out starting to use the 3-3-5 again. It's actually been pretty good for me lately. So he's sending back wing stack, so we can just go under.
Yellow, I've got blue lady. Rabbit. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Like that.
Check. Attack. Crunch. Yellow. 43. Haywood. Check hot route. Hot. Okay.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams.
That's a big thing too, like when you're trying to pursue those angles on the side, don't go for hit stick. Don't go for hit stick. Like, that used to be a big problem in mine. Only go for a hit stick if you have an angle.
Charles, he also had one through the air. Did you think he would have that type of a game?
I wasn't sure that we would see that type of a game, but I knew he would be a
try to get creative a little bit.
In terms of trying to
break
down what San Francisco does, that he would get the bulk of carries.
Good play. I'll make adjustments to it later. See, that's the thing, like the people with the Chiefs, they always want to do that. And what they're doing when they do that is they're giving me time to adjust. Spam one-play touchdowns. See, I can throw one-play touchdowns with you. And then I can just make my adjustments on defense. Because it's really just a chess match game. You know, you try to quick score too fast. You know, I could either A, control the clock, get the ball back at halftime. You know, all kind of things kind of go through my head when I see that. So the first thing I want to do is we want to learn to get this clock running. I feel a lot more comfortable when the clock's running.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
See what he does. Probably do like a
Second
motion.
and 7 now from the 28. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Finds an opening past the 40.
So he's going to keep doing that. We're just going to keep running right down the line. So now he switched it up. We're going to do a couple motions here.
On first down, Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, so now
like
we're
we
going to
just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
What now? 180.
So he's going to stay in at cover 3. Now what I do is when I see that and I'm on the right hash, I'm going to slide protect to the left side. Okay, that is very important.
Now they'll throw with Carr.
It's all good. All
Nowhere
good.
to escape, and he goes down.
So he's not going to let me one play like that.
Jones with a sack there. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Give me 1 sec, guys. Hello. Hey. Nothing much. I was just calling to see what y'all were doing earlier. Yeah, it bought me a fridge. I'm not gonna be able to get it till tomorrow though.
Shotgun now for Carr. Going down the middle.
Yeah, it's gonna be brand new.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 45-yard
they're not gonna be able to bring it till tomorrow. The furniture store, the one stop here in town.
At the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I was going. Well, they didn't physically have it there. I was trying to call y'all. I was like, you know, before I even went, I was gonna see if y'all would bring me to Walmart. I'd get some snacks and stuff to put in there and whatnot. But my phone's about to die. Appreciate you calling back. Let you get your rest. I know you gotta get up in the morning and stuff.
It's always a battle. Who's going
all right, love you,
down?
Dad.
The offense or the defense? Let's face it. If you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for.
He's gonna keep spreading the line, so we need to change up what we're doing here. So we're just gonna basically, I need to find like an inside run.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 36. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Find that inside zone.
Go Chiefs. Hey, turn it up. Check 99. Check 99. Express.
Carr gives to Richard.
Love Richard, baby.
To the 31, enough for the first
Just
down.
slow the game down just a little bit. You can go back to a power run.
As
long as you're alternating,
the
running back to one, the number 2, the number 3.
A new set of downs.
Definitely
with a
you can
new
do
set
some
of
damage.
downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now,
Keep them
everyone's
on
looking at
kinda
the
offset
offense and
with
saying
the
they've got the
motions.
advantage. The
And
best
make
defense
sure
is
you
just
have
say,
the
okay,
ID
new set
on
of
the
downs,
strongest
gives us
guy.
another chance to make a play
They gotta make sure
ourselves
Chris Jones
and
is
maybe
ID.
change things up.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bring the safety down.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike. Number 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
53 at the mic. 53 at the mic.
To throw his car. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
He's going to stay in that. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of push that zone back with a deep vertical. See if we can get that underneath.
Carl try it again on 2nd down.
There we go.
Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Keep spamming.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive.
What we're going to do is we're going to kind of try to exploit it a little bit. And that extra blocker over there.
From the gun, Carr. He's going to take a shot for the end zone.
Just like that.
Caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 23
get him out
yards
of
for the
this defense
touchdown.
real quick.
As they are now on the board
Kind
here
of
in the
focus a
first
little
half.
bit. They can plot. We're going to get the ball back
Extra
on
point by
defense.
Carlson, up and good. And we are tied
I know he
at
likes to
7.
go for one-play touchdown, so that's going to help me with my quick adjust. I know wherever Tyreek Hill is, I'm going to have to put a quarter over the top. So if he lines them up with slot receivers over there on the left, I'm going to put that safety in a quarter. I ain't putting him in a third, I'm not putting him in a half. Make sure he's over the top. I almost got him.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it?
So I can come out in like a nickel defense.
It just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Just kind of pay attention a little bit. See, he's coming around the wing stack. Alright, so if I come out in this formation,
so good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Quarter.
Check,
the half. And we're just kind of middle to 3rd.
Check 26, check 26.
They give it to Williams running right.
I don't worry about that too much right now.
He works it past the 50. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Stay with it. Find Tyreek, put a quarter on him. Put a good half over the field.
He's coming, double up. Shift, watch the shift. Watch the edge. Check 24.
Spread the line.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams.
There we go. Good setting on the edge.
Pick up there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially
staying
in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for defense because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go. This is caught inside the 15.
Fucking outside quarter. All right, so we'll go inside quarter, outside quarter.
An excellent game, 35 yards.
Inside quarter.
Williams.
Oh, yeah. Hate how EA does that. I'm thinking the CPU will fucking get on it. Shit happens. Like I said, all you can do is adjust.
And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block
leaves us plenty of time to get back in control of the flow of the game. We get the ball back at halftime. So what we want to do, you see how he's throwing and stuff. We don't really have an answer for it right now. We'll probably have to make halftime adjustments. But mainly what we want to do is we want to try to eat as much of this clock off as possible. So I'm thinking of is trying some fancy stuff here. Maybe we can kind of sneak him a little bit. Kind of see how he lines up.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive
lines. So we're going to try to take a shot. He's playing man coverage now. Safety's out wide. Could be man, could be cover 4. That's man.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7.
If you're not sure, the fastest way, instead of just motioning, is just flip the play while it's on the field. It'll tell you, like, if he's in man. See how he follows over, automatically knows he's in man. Okay. I don't have to do anything else. I can do it like that. I can have a wheel route over. And then, since that's a man route, I don't need that. I need that. And then it could be a blitz. Make sure we block.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr.
Man beat her out.
Completed to Renfro. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 43.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays,
same thing. Yeah, he's safeties are out wide.
You've got to be able to do it
and the same thing. He's like in a 2-man under, so we want to kind of
running savvy and toughness.
We want to attack him deep.
For all of that now.
Express. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's do. Check.
I fucked up. Fuck it.
Carr now on first down.
Good job,
Renfro.
Never make the mistake
That's why we like
receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed.
You gotta send them deep.
Catch a lot of balls, as we just saw there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Up the Z spot and go. Sideline looks like a good viable option. Now, what I've been experimenting with is motioning him out on a vertical.
Now Carr.
That usually gets that tight end open.
They'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
All right, so we took a tight end.
He's going to use one of their timeouts
here.
As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A chance now to get
so now he's giving us the inside run.
Goal.
See how he spreads out?
Lucky. Out.
We're just going to motion. We're going to give him the spread out. It's going to free up some space.
Jacobs now.
And
nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
All right, so he's playing man coverage.
And it sets up 2nd and goal.
All we got to do is just pick this play right here.
Defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd and goal.
Ah, they cheated me.
Intercepted at the goal line. Picked off.
It's all good. It's all good.
And he will be brought down as time is now
I thought he was being man. He was playing alone. That was my fault.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard.
But we did good by not letting him score.
So
we got the ball.
That's
still good.
halftime report. Coach,
Wish I would have walked away with some points.
both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2.
That's why we went. Let's go over, jump over, and take a
taken
chance.
down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
I'm going to get this run game going. See how he's been playing defense. Like, he'll come out in that 3-4 bear if I come out and run.
Two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that still lingers.
All right, so if he's coming through like that,
and put together some nice plays.
We're going to turn our aggressive blocking off. That way, them guys aren't getting up.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, or swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. 23 yards the pick up there.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Carr completes it. That one will go as a gain of 11.
User and a linebacker, so we can definitely manipulate him. Linebackers don't have the ability to run all over the field. So if he's standing in a cover 4, we're going to go ahead and take our one play shot. He's going to give it to us. He's not rushing no one. We got the aggressives. And this pass lead. Stay in that cover 4, buddy.
This is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His second touchdown.
See, that's the thing about Greg. Or anytime you play a user, they're going to stay on one defense that they feel comfortable with. You know, especially if they don't have a lot of player versus player reps. They're going to sit there and think that one defense is going to basically be end-all, be-all. If you catch them in something and they're staying in it, just pay attention to the safeties. It's going to be a dead giveaway. Pre-snap, post-snap, whatever you feel. Sometimes it might look like cover 4, but you know your post-snap read might be different. It'll come to cover 3, so always make sure you have a check-down route just in case you read it wrong. But usually those deep crossers always get over the top of those quarters. Alright, so he's just going to be in wing stack. We're going to flip the play.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way.
It's just a little bit different than how I ran it last year. Like last year, it was like cheese. This year, it's a little bit of making the right adjustments.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Quarter.
Again, it's Williams. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? One imposed their will on the defense was 5 straight runs.
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And just use the corner. Could be a run.
Again, it's McCoy. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Quarter, curl, blitz.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We're back now in KC.
Sometimes I'll play the curl
square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter.
Now I could play deep pass, curl, mid-third,
1st and 10.
blitz, and then usually this guy can kind of mix it up a little bit more.
This is Williams. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Inside third, curl flat, deep pass, user. Probably need to blitz that.
Now a 10th carry. Here's
there we go.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the
You can
backfield.
use this as a universal defense.
-2 yards.
And you just got to make all the quick reads, quick adjustments.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
You're going to have to get on him and use it.
Yellow. You got nothing.
Now here's Mahomes. Flush to his
Get on him.
right.
Got him. Got him.
Now the pressure gets
Take
there.
the field goal, bro.
Down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Like the footwork back there.
Starting to like my 3-3-5, man. I can't really exactly put a video on it because I make so many adjustments. So yeah, I just kind of have to watch how I play and the adjustments that I do. You got to be a good DB user.
And Butker
It's
able to
required
put this
that
one
you
through.
user a CV
And they take a 17-14 lead.
in some cases.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a
All right,
lot
so
of
that,
pressure on your defense to hold the lead,
you know, it
right?
sucks
They're
that we
happy
didn't
to
score
have
before
it,
the end of the
happy to be
half.
out there trying to do so.
But
But I know as a
that gives us
football
enough
player,
time
in the back
to
of their
get down the
mind,
field
they're
and do
thinking,
what we
"Why
need
just
to
score
do.
the touchdown and seal this thing."
And he'll get across the 20
All right,
before
so
he's
he
brought
likes to
down
run.
at about the 23-yard line.
Wide receiver swap. Usually I'm going to keep running right at him since we got our aggressive line.
The Raider offense
Should
set
work
to
a lot
get this
more
drive started. And for
towards
them a
our
touchdown
favor.
their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive,
Who
when you
cares
start
about the
thinking to
holding
yourself, okay, what
call?
are we
Still
going to do?
first down.
You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He just give me a free down. That's all I look at.
They're
Like,
backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Jacobs. And I think we've got a hold here.
All
It's
right,
a
so now they're
5-yard
calling
pickup
it
for
too
the
much.
moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Here we go.
That
all right,
one
like a
looks
dummy,
it's a
he
big right
accepted it.
tackle.
So
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but
all
it's
we
tough
got
to
to
keep
do
those guys
now
right in front,
is
isn't it?
kind of play with the
What down? What
deep routes a little bit. Using cover 3.
I got you. Kill. You're mine. 10. Express. I need one over here. That's right. OP.
Operating from the gun. Carr. Flushed out.
Oh my God, Carr, he's wide open.
And that'll wind up incomplete.
Come on now.
Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They have not gotten him going at all. Trying to spark something there with a
All right, he's in
longer
man
throw.
coverage again.
Unable
So
to
we're just going to
complete.
hit the
You
wheel
have to
route.
keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're
Could be
always
cover
trying to
3.
get him the
If he
football.
flips, he's still in cover 1.
Express. Hey, Haywood. Watch the curl. Check.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr
Speed kills.
I'm coming after you.
throwing right, and that's complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in.
You know, people find one defense and they keep spamming it.
3rd touchdown pass now.
All you got to do is just make the right
Once
read
again, the Raiders are back out in front.
and make the right user adjust.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17.
We know we can score. Now, the thing is, I didn't want to score like that, but he kept giving it to me. Sometimes you got to take the money if it's there, you know,
Ready to kick it away is
and
Carlson.
just kind of rely a little bit on your defense. Like we held him to a field goal last time, we can hold him to another field goal. You know, we got our aggressive tackle on. I shouldn't need to have aggressive stick on. He's trying to stay in his wing stack. So all we got to do,
Offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
quarter.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something.
this
They
guy.
mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
So he wants this route over here. See, I'm already on it with the corner that's supposed to be on the other side of the field. It gives my guys extra help.
They'll be going for 6. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He's going to keep taking shots. We got him. All right, so he switched to gun empty, so we need to be quarter up.
Now Mahomes. Going deep here for Watkins. And guy's man complete. A gain of 32 that time.
That could very well be a defining play in
Only
this
reason
game.
he got me.
Touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for
Deep pass
first
over
and 10.
there, but we'll just stick with it as is.
We're going 25 to Mike. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. Yellow.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
Ah.
It's held, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
All right, shrink the field, shrink the field.
11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. First and 10.
Yeah, so he's going to keep trying to run the
Fourth
drag
quarter,
route.
down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. It's Williams on the catch. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25. Easy. Just like that. Alert 3.
No, this is risky.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes.
But it was a risk worth taking.
Throw away. He's taken down.
Sometimes you got to take risks like that.
What they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been
He
letting them
was going to
drive
try to
right
roll out.
downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
All right, so pistol. We'll stick. We'll do the blitz.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that
quarter.
sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Inside third, D pass. We'll do this over here.
We're going 25 to Mike. Here we go. Hey, 25 to Mike.
Back to throw. Mahomes.
There we go, user. That's why you got to user those DBs, guys.
Intercepted.
It keeps you from getting fucked up on them little wheel routes.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Learn how to use those
Is
DBs.
the intended receiver.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw.
Especially with the Raiders roster, bro. We got
intercepted.
shit. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. We got boo-boo linebackers. All right, so see, he's in that man defense. See how he follows all the way over? This is our man defense killer. Okay, we're gonna motion out and hike.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive.
Stay
Nice
in man
grab.
coverage, bro.
The Raiders going to use one of their
I'm gonna get you with that
timeouts.
Y curl, bro.
It's just their first. They've got 2
Do it
more to
again?
use here in the final stages.
Get you with that Y post. Yep, man coverage. See it again. This time, what we're gonna do?
53, Mike. Later one. Who that? Check. Express.
Carr going to throw here.
Low ball.
And incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even
All right,
find
so
his
see how he
outlet
gave us the
man
numbers?
because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find
All right,
anyone
we're gonna
open.
ID. We're gonna motion like we're going right. The decoy.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Jacobs.
Watch the screen.
And able to fight
Oh, that
forward
timeout,
inside
buddy.
the 15 to the 13. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
See, I gave us the inside. All right, see how we? Oh, we got him fucked up.
Check.
So now I can just audible,
Check nickel.
and then I can do this.
Express.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
I
Now
like
the
that.
Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their
Especially against the
timeouts.
Chiefs.
That'll leave them with just one
It's
remaining
so
in
much
this fourth
rewarding
quarter of play.
when people
It's
pick
first and
teams
goal
like
and a
this
late
and
touchdown at
expect
this stage.
they're automatically
Officially
going to
sold
get a win.
this one away.
It's just that much more rewarding when you beat them.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's across for the touchdown.
And not
In
just
the final
defense,
minute, that should
dominate
just
them
about
on all
seal it.
aspects of the game.
Carlson on for the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up
So he's
to
either
11.
just going to quit or he's just going to finish it out. There's no way he can come back and win now.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Good kick. You don't want that, bro?
This will be taken very
There
short.
we go.
And a
That's
big
what we
mistake
wanted.
on the return.
Give me 2
He's
more
out of
points. I'm going to
bounds
go ahead
at
and send
his
this
own
blitz.
1-yard line.
He's going to gun empty.
All right, partner, get
We're going
that
to send the safety.
disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
This is our blitz.
Trying to shake off the interception.
Ah!
To throw.
He dropped it.
It's incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact.
Yo, he
Brings up
got
second down.
through like just
That's very
in the
well
nick
timed
of
there
time. I just
defensively
couldn't get
because
back
it's not a
to
bad
that.
throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll throw again from their own end zone. And this one caught by Travis Kelce.
This guy dinking and
And he
dunking.
gets us up just shy of the 15. Now another timeout called for by the
He's just going
offense.
to stay in this, bro. He's
It'll come with
not.
15 seconds to play in the ball game.
We'll use this guy.
Mahomes now on 1st down.
You're not going nowhere, bro. That's safety.
This turns into
Insult to
disaster.
injury.
He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back. And
Bro, get the
ultimately,
ball.
That might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
That is so gay. My man didn't even touch the ball. He was going to sit there and stop. He didn't even touch it. Whatever. We'll just play
So
cover 4.
barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the
Cover
red
3
zone.
guy.
Hey, 25 to the mic. We're going 25. 15. Let's go, baby. We all
One final try from Mahomes.
No, he's got to go to the end zone. Oh, he got lucky. We still won.
Final score, not
It
the
doesn't
outcome,
matter.
But it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play.
You know that
Doesn't affect
rubber
the
band
outcome,
effect that I'm
but,
always
hey,
talking
nice
about.
job there to put it in the end zone
That's
for
what
the
I mean.
final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes
If y'all don't
these
say that this
scores
isn't,
are
that
ones
wasn't
we don't
scripted,
consider big at the
then I don't know
And
what
later
is.
on we find out
But
maybe that was
a good game to the
tiebreaker.
guy that I just played.
Of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
And like I said, man, if y'all need anything, man, reach out to me. Post in a comment or something, you know, and I'll try to get back to you. You know, I'm usually pretty quick at getting back to people, you know, especially when I like get off work or in the evenings or whatever. But appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, I was gonna keep the video short to one game. And if you're new, you're just seeing the videos, man, please like, comment, subscribe, you know, and shout out to you guys that watch, man. That's why I do this stuff, okay? It's all about making the community better. I appreciate you.